Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes.
Hooray! Yeah, we did do some dragon slaying earlier, and we have a dragoon, so I guess that fits?
We're gonna be putting Final Fantasy IV to bed in this one. As soon as the random encounters let us.
Oh wow, you're burning Bahamut on the way there.
Don't worry about it.
Fine, yeah, I know, you got plenty of item backup.
Well, I don't even need to worry about that either. Because the thing about practicing for one of these is that you learn how the game works.
Do go on.
Well, it doesn't really matter how much I use before I reach the final boss.
Oh right, you get automatically restored, don't you?
Yes. Anyway, I equipped Rosa with the Life Staff because healing power is going to be more important than shooting things with arrows from here on out.
In this game, I tended to aim away from shooting with arrows most of the time. Excuse me.
Well, the thing is, Rosa can do good damage once you have the best bow and use the Artemis arrows, but
those arrows, you cannot reliably get more.
Yep.
Also, when I was on the way in, I was kind of cowardly and used smoke in most of these battles.
Well, I wanted the levels.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I actually did some grinding here before my final trek to the final boss of Finality.
Yes, welcome to the Lunar Core, the deepest part of the final dungeon.
And it uses that awesome music from the Babil Giant.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of a long walk, isn't it?
Yeah, there are 4 of these rooms.
This game wants to really make sure that you're ready before you go all the way in there.
Yep.
Also, what does the whistle do? Oh, right, never mind.
I believe it automatically summons a fat chocobo.
Yeah, I just realized that at the last second.
Yeah, the full name of the item is the Gaishal whistle.
You got power clothes.
Unfortunately, those would have been great to have about 2 dungeons ago.
Ouch, yeah.
I was just making sure I was reading the stats right.
Unfortunately, Edge needs his defense.
Yeah, even though Edge has seemed a little weak, he's going to be one of our primary damage dealers for the final boss.
Yep. He is good for precisely 1 encounter in the game.
Yeah. Well, thankfully they've gotten ninjas sorted out by the time Final Fantasy Tactics rolls around. Oh yeah, see that thing over there? That square area?
Go on.
There's a save point there in the easy type version.
Oh wow. You've been doing studying, haven't you?
No more than I usually do. Yeah, if I had known about plentiful glitches when I was doing Dragon Slayer, I would have done some of those too.
Well, why didn't you?
Because I didn't know about any.
Don't let a little thing like that stop you.
Okay, just checking everything's in order, and realizing it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And Golbez and Fusoya got to the final boss before we did.
Yep, looks like they didn't need our help.
And here's player sprite Golbez.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, if you manage to hack Golbez into your party, he can equip the kitchen knife.
Oh, well, I guess he's the most powerful character in the game then.
Yeah, and something I had realized when I was going into this was that Tonberries also use the kitchen knife.
Yep. By the way, I like how Golbez is kind of an armor mage in this game.
He is an armor mage in this game and pretty much in any game he appears in. He's that way in Record Keeper, Brave Exodus, After Years, all that sort of stuff.
Also, I have a feeling that silly is a slight mistranslation there.
Yep. Well, that's it for Final Fantasy IV.
Yep, we're done. We didn't have to go through all that in the end.
By the way, Golbez's hit point count is a numerical pun.
Yeah, in both cases, in fact.
Oh, what a shame. And I just like, dude, you totally wasted him. Great job. Oh, you're here.
Why did you come down here? I was to get Zemus.
Look. English, how does it work?
English is a horrifying language to learn, I will agree. And Cecil is... I don't know what his deal is.
Nobody knows what his deal is. Zemus is dead, but his hate lives on.
Now, in the original Japanese version, was this boss as from out of nowhere as it is in this game?
Yes.
Okay.
So now they're gonna try to give him a fight.
We're getting abstract with our boss design, aren't we?
This sort of thing happened even in some previous Final Fantasy games, like the Cloud of Darkness from Final Fantasy III.
Also, apparently Golbez learned Medio Blue Magic style.
Well, Fasui might have taught him it on the way. And besides, it's not like Golbez is a stranger to black magic. And Golbez using the crystal does nothing because Golbez is not the greatest guy.
No, well, he's okay now, but he never got that whole redemption quest thing.
Well, that's Final Fantasy IV, everybody.
Yep. Almost as bad as, a couple of Super Robot series I can think of.
Yep.
Oh, now they're going to do more wishing, aren't they?
Yeah. Everyone, raise up your arms and give Cecil your energy. And yep, we're going to be doing the wishing. Oh, Nintendo of America. Wait, Sid's assistants?
I guess he carted them over in one of the airships.
Well,
okay, I actually liked that line.
Well, that's Palom will always be Palom no matter what.
Moon!
Hey, we're not gonna blow it up. You know, something here... I wonder what happens if all of your inventory space is full.
I actually had that happen once. The inventory screen comes up and you have to get rid of something.
Uh-huh.
Well, now you gotta start the battle.
Oh, well.
I mean, compared to some of the other battle beginnings, like Dark Bahamut, it doesn't seem too out of line.
Well, I'm used to this kind of thing. I played through Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter.
Apparently, Trails of Cold Steel is even more difficult in some ways.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Also, what's Tella doing here?
Well, do you think that being dead would stop him?
It usually does. By the way, where is that extra crystal from? What's its deal?
I don't know, maybe it's explained in the DS version.
Maybe. I'm thinking maybe they... No, they couldn't have yanked a crystal from the start because all 8 of them were there.
Yep. And we have been given energy, so we can actually start this fight at full stuff.
Except for Cecil. I do admit, I did not expect the end of the game to be Golbez cheering Cecil on.
Well, like I said before, Final Fantasy IV, unlike some other games, just keeps getting stronger.
So, I'm curious here. What happens if you don't use the crystal for a little while?
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
However, you can't deal any damage to Zeromus.
Too bad. I was hoping he would use that Meteo after a while. Oh, it has a special crystal graphic for that item.
Yep. It has a unique item graphic in your inventory.
Now that's effort.
Okay, the reason I had to... This is my second attempt at this recording. Is because I actually missed with the spoon.
The quote-unquote spoon.
And here is our final boss. Now, the reason I missed with the spoon is because there's a small window between when he transforms and when you can actually damage him, and I threw the spoon through that window.
That's some sharp aim. Also, this boss has counterattacks.
Yes, it does. And I missed with slow, too, but I'll have to drop slow on him eventually.
Now, let me take a close look at this graphic when the spoon is thrown.
It is a knife.
It's a knife.
Okay. I'm going to be casting Bahamut on him anyway.
Yeah, can't pass up those high damage numbers. Also, Kane dodged something important here.
The Big Bang Attack. This attack has highly variable damage because it's keyed into his hit points in some weird and unknown way, so I've seen it do as low as 700 damage before.
You're doing a trick.
Oh yes. Now, I have one last glitch to perform to make this playthrough complete. Basically, when you equip the Avenger in the middle of a battle, the Avenger doesn't actually overwrite the properties of what it was previously in Cecil's hands. So the game thinks Cecil is still equipped with the Ragnarok and the Crystal Shield, but
he's auto-berserked,
which bypasses the berserk immunity of the crystal armor, allowing for things like that.
Now, why does that crystal armor have berserk immunity? It's a freaking buff.
I don't know. So I threw away the Excalibur, too.
Yeah, who needs that? Do you have to go back to the Lunar Core to get Excalibur in the after years?
No.
Too bad. I think that would have been funny.
So yes, Zeromus is actually vulnerable to slow, and that does trigger his counterattacks too.
Yep. Fortunately, his magic power isn't really close to stuff like what Rydea would throw. Which is why Edge didn't take 4 9s there.
Yep. Yeah, see, I took greatly reduced damage from the Big Bang attack. So, the way Zeromus works, even though in the game data he only has something like 61,000 hit points, in reality he has a lot more. Because when he goes into his second phase after his opening phase, when you reduce him to around 12,000 hit points, he gets a silent auto-heal back to full and then moves on to his third phase.
Yeah. Now, I believe that at some point he stops counterattacking. Is that in his second or third phase?
That is in his fourth phase.
Ah. Wow. I didn't even know that he had multiple phases when I was first playing this. That's because I'm bad at noticing things, I think.
Well, that's just how Square does things.
I also appreciate how, from what you told me earlier, that this silent healing happens in a way that even damage cap won't be able to kill him before he gets the heal.
Exactly.
They knew what kind of power that the party could have at this point. So why are you using Bahamut rather than Nuke?
Bahamut does more damage.
Yeah, I guess you're not worried too much about MP.
Yep.
It's weird. I'd love using Black Magic for Rydea, but most of the time you just leave that particular menu option alone. Oh, looks like it got that heal.
Yep. So his third phase is when he starts using Black Hole, which only removes magic from your party. He doesn't actually cancel his own debuffs, so he's still slowed.
Yeah, I guess that's in case if you were using, I don't know, Fast on yourself?
Let's see. And he's already in Phase 4 because of how much damage I was dealing to him.
And that was the weakest Meteo ever.
When he's in Phase 4, he only has about 12,000 or so hit points left.
Yeah.
Or, I guess less.
Wow. Fight went so fast, we almost didn't have time to explain it all.
Well, keep in mind that I was kind of min-maxing in addition to the glitches I was using.
Yeah, but this is the sort of game where you're kind of expected to min-max. I mentioned in the thread that if you don't go for any secret or side stuff, you would go into this battle with Cecil using the Lightbringer from back in the sealed cave.
That would be a problem.
Yes, it would.
And Zeromus takes his sweet time to die like
most final bosses.
Like all Final Fantasy bosses from here onwards.
Yeah, well. So it goes.
Yeah, X-Death is the first Final Fantasy final boss to have distinct multiple forms.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We never see Zeromus again. I also like how... Oh, too bad. I was hoping that his last word was puff, and then he's just gone.
I was hoping for that too, but we're not so lucky.
And in fine Final Fantasy tradition, it seems like this was a load-bearing boss.
Actually, no.
No, really? I'm sorry. I thought that the whole shaking earth thing meant that... Oh, whatever.
You haven't played this game in a while, have you?
I have not. It's been a very long time.
Well done!
Also, I wouldn't go too far. Cecil is half Lunarians, and as far as the rest of us, you won't find 5 other people who can bring this sort of fight.
Yep. And time for the Final Fantasy philosophy. Thankfully, this is brief.
I also find it fitting that, in the end, Edge was taken down by a ridiculously weak spell for this point in the game. It's just so Edge of him.
So what are you going to do after this?
We're gonna have an epilogue.
We're going to go back to our planet. Our people need us.
Does Fusoya ever show up again?
After years.
Okay. You? Seriously?
Hold on, what's going on?
Okay, I guess it's fair if Golbez went back to Earth, everyone would hate him.
Yep.
Oh, burn.
Yes. But?
He hasn't actually called him brother yet.
Oh, right. Yep, and that stairway leads to the innermost part of the lunar core. That's why they were fighting Zemus around here.
You never get to go up there.
No.
I wonder if there are rumors of some sort of special ending that lets you go up there.
1991, good luck finding that. Where are you gonna get an internet in 1991?
Cecil, you're a paladin. Try to be a decent person for once.
Mm-hmm. Hey now, Cecil's a good guy.
Oh, wow. Okay, fine. Oh, it just took him a second to realize.
Yep.
The goodbye was probably some more meaningful phrase in the original version.
Maybe.
It is a complete guess. I will not,
Play Final Fantasy IV sometime. And our weird system where we have 2 moons.
Definitely not Earth. Oh, it's this again?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, they gotta get in that Mode 7 somewhere in the ending.
I forget, is Mode 7 used for stuff like airship flying?
Yes.
Because usually when I see Mode 7 shown off, it's, I don't know, stuff getting thrown into the screen.
Yeah, it was used when you descend or leave the underground in, this game. Also.
Also?
No, that's what I meant. It was also used for that.
Okay.
We're gonna be here for a little bit.
Yeah. It's a Final Fantasy game. Its endings sure like to take their time.
This is shorter than most.
Yeah, they don't have the memory capacity for the really over-the-top lengthy endings yet.
Okay, and here we go, our little set of epilogues.
Yep.
Dump that back in the ocean. We don't need this anymore.
And the party drowns.
And things are back to normal as they can be anyway.
Wow. I'm thinking about other versions where Pelham and Porm can be part of your final party. And they probably know every spell, so what's there to learn from the Elder?
Discipline.
Also, is that really boasting? I mean, it is exactly what happened.
Yeah, but he's trying to impress a girl. Speaking of which, the girl he's trying to impress becomes a party member in the after years.
That's hilarious. If I was more interested in the game, I'd play it just to find out more about that.
Well, play Complete Collection. In fact, all of you play Complete Collection, even if you have no interest in the after years.
I don't think that's a misstatement right there, considering what we know about Edge.
Stop chasing skirts all the time, you're the king!
Fine, I'll limit myself to chasing one skirt.
Well, you joke.
Go on. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. I forget, is that ever resolved? Probably not.
Well, it's not like it would be hard.
Yeah, she can probably just solo all the random encounters on the way here.
There's a bit of a difference between a Rydia and an Ifrit.
By the way, why are you all wearing those menacing robes?
They didn't have the capacity for individual monster sprites.
They did show stuff like a bomb walking around.
I don't know, I'm not here.
I wish that the theme of unity between monsters and people was explored a bit more in later games.
Well, that's not happening.
Oh, has the king retired?
Well, yeah, the kings of Fabul are fighting kings, and the previous king was very, very grievously wounded in the Battle of Fabul.
Achoo. Achoo. What do you mean, so do you? Maybe the next Fabul can withstand more than one battle.
Hey, Edward is getting help from Toroya.
Yep. I think this castle was the most burned to the ground of all of them.
Yeah, this was still on fire when you got here. Also, I'll have to look up if minstrelsy is an actual word. By the way, if a text box goes fast, it's not my fault. I have no control over that in this sequence.
Yeah, this is one of those places where pressing a button does nothing.
Tella, the only character who actually died.
Other than Anna.
The only playable character who actually died.
Okay, then. Wait, this castle wasn't burned to the ground.
Well, it doesn't look like in the best shape.
Okay, so there are a few cracks here and there.
And a big chunk taken out of there.
In Final Fantasy, you sure about that?
Look, this was made before the cash-in, okay?
And that's why dwarves never show up again.
Yeah, Cecil and Rosa will actually tie the knot after all this.
Oh boy, Kane's not going to be a happy person. Well, he's never a happy person.
No, Kane is far, far away.
Cecil, Rosa, I might stab you in the back again. I kind of wonder what goal of strength he's thinking about here, because Aromas was the most powerful thing around. There's not much else to test himself on. Unless he wants to have a rematch with Cecil.
Well, keep in mind, Kane might be thinking of a different kind of strength because he was mind-controlled twice. He's probably training his magic resistance. Something's up with the moon. Eventually. We put a lot of work into this scene, and we want to show it off for a long time. Well, I can't fault this ending too much anyway. Besides, this was the first Final Fantasy game that
had a proper epilogue?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about... Oh, the moon is leaving.
Yep, the moon is leaving. That's kinda creepy. Mode 7.
Now, this was the first Final Fantasy game that had a lot of character stuff in it.
Wait, so the moon just comes back in the after years? We changed our minds!
That's part of the mysteries. And it's Cecil's rooms, but now there are 2 beds in it.
Yep. Would be funnier if the beds were far away from each other.
Hey, there's only so much space with this tile set.
This is one of the endings that I enjoyed the most of the role-playing games that I played, especially back then.
Uh-huh. Tell me more.
Well, okay, to be fair, I didn't play that many, but let's compare it to, say, Phantasy Star 3.
Well, actually, yes, that was something I had almost forgot I was going to talk about, because the RPGs we played before this one had largely perfunctory endings.
Yeah, like, we played the original Dragon Warrior.
And Phantasy Star 3.
I mean, Phantasy Star 3 tried to go with quantity.
Well, it suffered from the fact that it was basically using the same cartridge that Phantasy Star 2 did.
Yeah.
Which also had a better ending than Phantasy Star 3. And there's Palom?
Of course. Yeah. In certain kingdoms, you probably get more than a knock on the head for doing that.
Mm-hmm. Also.
Oh, yeah, that didn't take long. I like that detail.
Yeah, Square was always good at the pantomime sprites. Though they did it best in Super Mario RPG.
Yes. Transforming pantomime. I didn't quite get that part, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just the end, waving goodbye.
I was talking about the glowy part.
Oh, that's making it sepia tone like it's an old, picture. Okay, and that's the end of Final Fantasy II. Play either this version or the complete collection version, but play the game.
Well, people who are watching this probably have done that.
Okay, director, there's Hinorobu Sakaguchi, character design Yoshitaka Amano, and music composer Nobuo Umeatsu. Basically the big three of the first 6 Final Fantasy games.
What else? You know, I would have liked to see some, I don't know, other games keep more or less this pace with the epilogue. I think the pacing was just about perfect. It went over what everyone was doing, but not in a
overblown way.
Overblown way. It wasn't all incomprehensible. Go on. Take over for me. I'm losing it.
It wasn't Final Fantasy VIII.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that led to one of my favorite particular speedrun races I've ever seen in games done quick.
Yes. Can we speedrun Turtles, the entirety of Turtles in Time, faster than the ending credits of Final Fantasy VIII?
It turns out the answer was yes.
Let's see, translation, and none of these are native English speakers.
Oh, gee. Never would have known.
And here's the special thanks to everyone else who did any kind of work on the thingamabobber.
Thanks for the coffee.
This must be the Nintendo of America people there.
Wonder what they did.
Wait, Tetsuya Nomura? What are you doing here?
Tell me more about Mr. Nomura.
Tetsuya Nomura was the battle sprite designer for Final Fantasy V and 6, and he was a debugger for this game, so great job.
Oh, gee.
And he ended up becoming the main character designer for the series from Final Fantasy VII onwards, and now he's going to be the main producer on the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Well then, I've heard many different things about that remake.
Yes. Tetsuya Nomura is also the character designer for Kingdom Hearts, and is generally known among some fans as Tetsuya Belt and Zipper.
Yes, although he didn't do that because he liked that style in particular.
Sometimes he just did it to troll the 3D modelers. And anyway, looks like we're...
At the end?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, thank you very much for hosting this.
Hey, there's still 20 seconds yet. And you're welcome to it. It's probably my most played Final Fantasy game.
Mode 7.
Of course.
Mode 7.
It's a SNES game. It's going to be there. Anyway, that is it. Be seeing you next time.
Mode 7.
Bye.